The sky over Constantinople did not fall that day. It burned. Massive cannons thundered like angry gods, shaking walls that had stood unbroken for 1,000 years, as if history itself was finally losing patience. Inside the city, people prayed for miracles. Outside the walls, a young sultan was building a nightmare that would end an empire. They called Constantinople eternal, a city protected by divine belief, encircled by walls so strong that even the most ambitious emperors of history had once turned away in silence. The Byzantines believed their capital was chosen by heaven itself. Its domes touched the sky like crowns. Its streets carried the memory of Rome's forgotten glory. And for centuries, that belief was enough to keep it alive. But belief does not stop cannon fire, and history does not care what once was eternal. Far beyond the walls, in the rising Ottoman court,
This is where we break them. The fleet must be ready to enter the harbor by morning.
a 21-year-old sultan stood where others saw impossibility. Mehmed II. Not just a ruler, but an obsession in human form. He didn't see a city. He saw the final lock on a door between two worlds, East and West. And he believed that if he broke it, the world would never be the same again. So he built something no empire expected. Not an army, a machine of siege. Gigantic cannons forged to break mountains. Engineers from across lands. Ships dragged over hills to surprise the defenders from the impossible angle. Every strategy designed not to attack, but to erase hope itself. And then, he waited.
Is that all you've got, dogs? Go home before you freeze!
At first, the city laughed. Walls like ours do not fall, they said. But on the first morning of bombardment, laughter died. Stone cracked for the first time in centuries. The earth shook. Then came the second day, and the third, and the 10th. Each sunrise became punishment. Each night became exhaustion. The walls, once symbols of divine protection, began to look like wounds that refused to heal.
There is nothing left for you here. Move aside!
We will starve if we listen to you. We take what we need.
How many more lives must be sacrificed for your pride?
It is not pride, it is...
Leaders argued, while the cannons outside spoke a language louder than all of them combined. And still, Mehmed did not rush, because he understood something terrifying. Sieges are not won by force. They are won by time. Inside the city, the final defenders gathered. Soldiers from Greece, Italy, and forgotten corners of Europe. A fragile alliance held together not by unity, but by fear of extinction. Their leader, Emperor Constantine XI, knew the truth no one wanted to speak. Help was not coming. The West was too far. The seas were too controlled. The empire was already a ghost, pretending to still be alive. Still, he fought, not for victory, but for memory. On the final nights, silence became more dangerous than cannon fire, because silence meant planning. Mehmed prepared his final move.
The triple walls here near the gate of St. Romanus are their weakness. We must focus our heavy cannons on this section.
Thousands of soldiers, hidden positions, a coordinated assault designed to hit the city from every weak point at once. And when it began, it did not feel like a battle. It felt like the world collapsing in real time. Screams filled the night sky. Fire climbed the walls. The last gates were forced open, not by strength alone, but by exhaustion, betrayal, and fate finally choosing a side. At dawn, Constantinople was no longer resisting. It was falling. The final defenders fought in the streets, refusing to accept.
Stand firm, brothers! Do not yield an inch! Die, infidels! The city is ours!
What was already decided. Emperor Constantine XI vanished into the chaos. History never agreed on how his story ended. Some say he died as a soldier. Others say he became part of the city he refused to abandon. But what is certain is this: the Roman world ended that day. Not with a ceremony, not with a treaty, but with dust rising over broken walls. Mehmed entered the city not as a destroyer, but as a man standing inside a turning point of history. He renamed it Istanbul. He rebuilt it. And from that moment forward, the Ottoman Empire was no longer a rising power. It was the center of a new world order. Europe would never look the same again. Trade routes shifted.
We are losing access to the eastern trade routes.
This aggression will cripple us, sire.
Adjust the sails. We head south now.
Empires panicked. Borders changed in fear of what had just been born, on the ruins of what was believed eternal. Constantinople did not simply fall. It transformed the direction of history.
The old world order, as the Ottomans rose.
One empire died in silence. Another rose in thunder.
One empire died in silence. Another rose in thunder-old Islamic history.
And between them stood 53 days that proved a brutal truth. No city is eternal. No wall is unbreakable. And no
walls we
empire
build
survives
eventually
forever
fall.
when
The
history
armies march,
decides
the
it is
crowns
time to
fade,
change.
and the centuries pass.